What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to Free Game. We got the co-host here, Rock Jones.
Hey.
And the transformation wizard, Raheim.
Yes.
For those of you that aren't watching,
I
don't even know how to describe what I'm about to ask to start. What would you describe what's on your fingers and what are they?
Yes. So
we'll start with that.
These are my weavers, right? I use them to weave the web of life. It's magic at my fingertips. So I used to always have acrylics done. I really like nails, but they would crack all the time.
Just to jump in for those that don't see, the weavers look like copper and
brass and crystals.
Yeah. And then there's crystals weaved within them, and they're extended fingers and fingertips. Is an accurate description?
Yeah.
And so since my nails will break all the time, I was like, I need a solution. I need to solve this, because I also love when I get to move them, and you see they're alluring. You know what I'm saying? And they cast. Right. And being a wizard, these are like wands. I have individual wands on each finger. Okay. So
we had I don't remember what Danielle likes to be called, but we had a physicist, and I'll call him energetic healer. I don't want to use the term witch because she, like a fairy, like, dude, she's wild. She's like super dope. And like started carving with her hands. But she uses crystals. We all hear about crystals, but she uses crystals in like a stone crystal wand type thing as well.
Ashe.
So.
Yeah.
Do you do Vodun? The second time I heard you say Ashe.
I don't do Vodun, but I do practice African-based traditional spiritual practices.
Right.
Yeah. No, I just heard the Ashe twice now, so I was like, all right, yeah. No, I'm familiar with it.
Ashe.
Yeah. Exactly.
For those of you that are unfamiliar, that's like the life force. It's like a confirmation.
Absolutely. Bringing life to what you're saying.
Exactly. I had to go look it up when you told me the second time. I was like, what is this?
All right, so my bad to interrupt, but I just had to give the listeners a best verbal description I could do. So those are essentially the finger wands that you have, and then you use those for healing work.
Well, I'm also a fashionista. I like my fashions. I like to dress and use my vessel as a vehicle of expression, right?
Okay.
And so I use them in like my energy channeling works, but they're mainly for me, right? You get the benefit of seeing them.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, and you made those.
And I make these all by hand.
Okay.
But when I do go grocery shopping, I use them to scan my food to see what I want to eat and what calls to me. And they'll like.
I don't know if I follow that.
So I'm a Reiki master teacher, and scanning is one of the things that I do with my hands when I'm looking for energies that might be resonant with me or disharmonious, there we go, to me. Yeah. And so if you can do the same thing with food. Anybody can do this. You know what I'm saying? You go look at a piece of food and you're like, feel the vibe. If it feels good, you get that one. If it don't feel good, don't eat that one. And so that's how I shop.
I'm just imagining
everything
seeing him in the frequency in the fucking grocery store.
Oh, the looks I get. People are like, what are you doing?
To be fair.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You just walking off the street, you're like, hey, ho. What you doing with me?
Right.
Just watching that. I'm just like, you know what? I'll wait.
I'll wait till you get to it.
Yeah.
It don't work? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're into healing work. So you do Reiki. How did you get inside? Did you do anything else?
Yes. So I'm a Reiki master teacher, Akashic record reader. If you don't know what that is.
I don't, actually.
We'll get there.
Okay.
I also am a certified 200-hour yoga teacher, social emotional learning facilitator, and movement wellness guide. And so I help people find more freedom and liberation in their bodies through movement and dance and stretching and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So when I was in graduate school, I was stressed out. I went to I got my MFA in dance performance and choreography from New York University, Tisch School of the Arts.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you.
Right.
And while I was there, I was, again, stressed the heck out. I was suffering from a lot of imposter syndrome. I had a lot of just childhood trauma that I was dealing with.
Right.
And my professor gave everybody a 5-minute treatment in Reiki as one of the end of our rotations. And so after that experience, I was like, oh my God, I feel great. I need to learn this. So I started training with her and her master. I did my first 2 levels of attunement there, where you learn how to like send Reiki at a distance. So no matter where you are in the world, I can send you Reiki.
That's beautiful.
To assist you in your healing, to assist you in your activation and your awakening, and also can send it to situations. So if you got a court case and you need some extra energy, we can send it to that too. Ashe.
There you go.
So did that, but I was experiencing really crazy things where I would be working on people. I would see like blue lightning coming from my hands. I would see things.
Do you have synesthesia? Not to jump in.
I wish
Are you
I
familiar?
did. I am familiar.
Okay.
I was like, I wish I had that. I think I do to an extent. I think.
Well, if you see the energy, you have a form of sight and feeling. Because I have sight and feeling, and mine came after I talked to God when I was 21.
Ashe.
And you don't see it very often. You only see it in like in a relevant or intense moment. Like when you're healing somebody, blue is usually truth. So
Really?
I lost my fucking mind. Like my boys, I don't want to sidetrack this too much. But when I turned 20, here I go to sidetrack it now. I don't want to. Here's what I'm gonna do. So I've probably told the story a couple times, but I turned 21. I was actually working at this almost like mobbed up bar and all this. And when I always believed like when I turned 21, that's when I'm gonna be the man that I always wanted to be. You know, I'm never allowed to lie again. You know, I'm gonna put on for people, like all these things. And they put on this whole cool party for me. And the only reason why that part's relevant is I was like, anybody that comes is forgiven for anything that's ever happened to me. Right? I want to start tomorrow with a clean conscience. And then I was on this bus down to Long Island the next day to visit a friend. And I was like, God, talk to me. Like, you obviously don't speak to me in English, but I'm gonna feel it out. Like whatever it is, I'll feel it. And now my father's like a PhD scientist. And my friends were also out of their minds. And I used to be out of my fucking mind. So what happened was like I didn't have the vocabulary or the understanding to explain it, and I needed to have an ability to explain it both scientifically and energetically. It took me almost 5 years before I found the term synesthesia. So scientifically, I would explain it as I tried so hard to feel God's message that I actually my senses combined.
Right.
I would explain it scientifically, but that doesn't mean I didn't hear God, right?
Yeah.
Then the next part was just figuring out what the colors meant, because all of a sudden I started seeing colors and like, yeah, like, how do you explain that? And like, how do you correlate that with what's happening?
Right.
You have to have a lot of failed experiments for like, oh shit, when I see pale yellow, something bad's about to happen. I need to stop. Right. So like for me, like pale yellow is like, and I've also read in synesthesia different colors correlate with different people differently, but I would associate them most. I recently learned about like the chakras with the chakras. And blue tends to be like the third eye. It's literally Roy G. Biv. It's wild that the ancient Hindus knew that. I guess it's not wild, they saw it. So, but blue I've associated with truth. So I don't mean to sidetrack too much.
You know why you're associating that with truth? It's actually your Vishuddha, your throat chakra, where you speak the truth, where you manifest and your words become matter.
That's the light blue.
Yeah.
Because it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. So like when I think blue, I think like this blue.
Well, you talking colors to a colorblind person, so you know don't worry.
You're colorblind?
Yeah.
No
I
shit.
mean, I see colors, but I don't see all the colors y'all see.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't worry. I be trying to tell you what I think you see.
There's an app that can show you like what a colorblind person sees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the app called?
I don't remember.
All right, but there's an app for it. the sass on that answer was incredible too. I don't remember.
Man, nah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, back to Raheim was doing Reiki and saw the blue lightning shoot out of his hand.
Did you feel it?
No. What I felt was this. I guess in a way I did, because I did feel the like vibration of the thing, right? And also saw this like this slimy thing come out of my client's nose and then go back in, and it freaked me the fuck out. And so my teacher...
Did the client feel it?
No. He was just, he thought everything was fine. So I talked to my teacher, and she didn't know. That's never happened to her. She also was very much so like, I tell spirit, I don't want to see anything. So don't show me nothing. And I'm like, well, how the hell you going to help me if you aren't open to this thing?
Right.
So I did my training all over again with another person who was a shaman and Reiki master teacher, Akashic Records, all the things. And was able to get so much more information from that experience, and also changed my connection to the Reiki. Right? Okay. It became just a little more refined in a different way. And then, when I went to Montreal for the first time, I had a whole like download.
I love Montreal.
Love Montreal.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
See, I feel like left out Lamont. See, I want to go.
It's cool.
It
Yeah, I haven't been
is.
yet.
It's a beautiful city. Don't go in the winter though.
I went in
don't
the winter
worry.
and it's so
Yeah,
cool.
I don't go past Tennessee in the winter.
Look. And when I got there, I had my first like mounting where like spirit entered my body. And then it's like they had this half and I had this half, and they taught me a different way to connect to the Reiki. And so now that I have that, I'm like, oh shit, there's some extra read all about.
Really?
Yeah. And
So do you do IFA?
I do Lukumi. It's one of the many practices.
Okay, yeah. Because one of my buddies, he's probably going to be crowned. I don't know the proper term, so forgive me if I was accepted in a house.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of did my meditation, and it was like, that's probably not the path I'm going to take. I respect it. None but love, great energy, but I'm probably different path. But it's still super cool. I just remember like the guy who doing my reading was like, how the fuck are you connected to this? Like, you're white. Like, he was just,
right.
But like the dude did the reading on me and was like, the spirits want you. You're welcome. So like I am relatively familiar. I was not near with what you have but it's still cool.
Absolutely. And like in my Ile, there are white practitioners who are crowned. It's
nice.
Okay, what is crowned?
You take this.
So that's when a person becomes initiated into the mysteries of a particular orisha. And orisha is an emanation or an expression, a sect, one manifestation of the divine, all that is.
Okay.
So we can think like
in Christian terms, is like different manifestations of the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Like different personalities.
Right.
So like
That makes
Shango, my understanding is like Jay-Z is like crowned with Shango, and Beyonce is Oshun. And the fact that they had twins is wild because they have twins in the Orisha.
Right.
So it's like a very like, it's real. But it's like a different manifestation or personality of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Like the Greeks had different gods. Mm-hmm. God expresses himself differently in the Bible and like different, but like God has like different expressions, right? That's fair to explain it?
Absolutely. I think that's great.
All right. So, sorry, I jump in too much. I get too excited.
It's a co-creation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's super cool, man.
Keep going. He still
Okay,
hasn't made it to the Akashic Records yet.
Right.
Akashic readings.
Right. Okay, so boom. Did the Reiki stuff. Bam. Then I got into sound healing. Did that thing. Bam. Then I got to Chicago, and I was like, there's something else that's missing. Now, the Akashic Records, you can think of the Akashic Records as like an ethereal library where all past experiences are collected. So it's like the record of your life, like your book. We can go in here, we open your book, and it will show us all of the things that are relevant for you to know from past lifetimes, what you're experiencing in this current lifetime, and all future possibilities.
That's and you know how to access that?
I do.
Dog, we gotta talk after this.
Facts, especially with my wedding around the corner.
Yeah.
Guess who's officiating?
Oh,
Holla at your boy.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So tell me, we're probably gonna spend a lot of time on the Akashic Records because I am mind blown. I don't want to say accidentally. I think it's truly an accident, but I unintentionally one time astral traveled. It was actually right after Oshun appeared to me.
Wow.
Did you have the cord?
No.
Cord?
So I've tried to do it many times. My wife can lucid dream, and she's astral traveled a couple times, like here and there. Like she doesn't really know how to do it either. And I just had this profound experience where like Oshun like helped me out and like this whole thing, and that's kind of how I got introduced to Ifa because my buddy was with me. That's a child of Oshun, and I was like, "Yo, this beautiful black woman in yellow just appeared to me, like, and I explained it to her, and there was a vulture there, like literally like sitting next to us, and he was like, ah, and he was like, I need to bring you to my padrino, and that's literally, so like, anyways, I was at my cousin's maybe shortly after that, and I was, I guess all things are relevant, but I was at my cousin's, like, jerked off, went to take a nap, and
I real specific.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
I would throw it out, but like maybe that's important. I don't know. And I went to like, and I was like, yo, I want to like send my soul out there and like thank like Oshun for like helping me or whatever. And then shortly after that, I always thought, because I've tried it before, I thought I was going to shoot out. I shot back. All of a sudden, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I saw myself, but it wasn't myself. It was almost like this like light thing, like went backwards through me into like a different dimension. Like wasn't the earth really, and it was like a gray, not static, but like static-y screen. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna meet the architect of the Matrix. And I like got too ahead of myself, and it shot me out.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, I need to slow my roll. But
Right.
That's cool.
That was the only time I've ever done that. Yeah, so there was no chord, but I've heard of the chord.
Yeah.
I didn't see the
your
chord.
neocortex, the top of your brain, started taking over, and then it was like, you out of there.
Yeah, I think I was too logical about
Exactly. That's what happens to me.
it. The neocortex? That makes sense.
Starts
You're
getting
very
crazy,
logical.
and then the left brain starts taking over, and then it's like, all right, bye.
All right.
Y'all so funny.
If anybody that doesn't watch the YouTube of this, if I could explain the odd trio that we are right now. Those of you guys haven't seen Rock. Rock is this muscle-bound, just biker black dude, just yoked. I don't know how I would describe Raheim. I'll use the word fabulous.
Thank you.
Pink headband, wizard fingernails,
handmade jewelry,
eccentric. I'm this white
boy. Please,
bro,
try
with
again.
like
Try again.
Italian bro.
Try
with
again.
like,
Nah, he downplaying it. He is downplaying it. If y'all can't see Luke, you look at him and go, okay, what the hell is he?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it look like he been sitting in the sun, but maybe not. Can't quite figure it out. Got a gold grill going on.
I got the grill in.
Yeah, got the beard going on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know if he's gonna be cool, if he's gonna tell you need insurance. You know?
and they're all possible.
And I don't mean pay for insurance.
Yeah.
I mean insurance from back in the day. You don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go to the Akashic. I'm gonna explain the grills. So anybody that's heard this before probably heard the story, but the reason I wear bottoms in the grills is I figured it was wouldn't throw people off too much. And gold is one of the best amplifiers or conductors of electricity that there is. And since we are electrically, I figured it would amplify me. And I really only wear it when I do the podcast or sometimes with business stuff, because I feel like it would amplify things. Right? It's like, why not?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I am here for it. I mean, this is why I'm always in jewels and coppers and stuff. It amplifies.
Amplifies and grounds.
Yeah, preaching to the choir. This is
Right.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
as different as we are, though, we're all
But
on it.
let me tell you something that I love about this trio, this group, and really everybody that's in here. Y'all can't see Mike them back there.
Yeah, Mike and Connor, thanks to Gwinnett Radio X,
I know,
always helping us
Yeah,
out.
shout out to them for sure.
Super accommodating. Like,
Listen.
I'll hit up Mike like the day before, like, hey, I got a guess.
Exactly. Yeah, the source or consciousness or whatever you want to call it, God wants to feel life in every form, and we all got it inside of us. So regardless of how different we appear through our physical lives, from our third eye, from that ajna, with our anahata fuel of that ajna, we're all the
You're
same.
just dropping vocab on,
I can't
on the
help myself.
chakras right now. Dude, I'm off.
Heart chakra in the first eye, y'all.
But you know that's what I do.
No, I know. Just,
And really and truly, man, I've been holding myself back from speaking the actual language of it because I don't want to throw people off that come to my classes and stuff like that. And I was finally like, you know what? Fine. And I ain't going to even get into what happened with me and Carmen that made me finally say, okay, yeah, I got to let it go. But bottom line is something followed her home, and she basically made me speak it over her like I do during our meditations, and it worked. And I was like, okay.
you know what's really funny, actually, and then I want to go back to Akashic Records, but this is how the show goes, is
We'll eventually get to it.
so Fridays I had this like mushroom meditation that told me to join this Bible group that I was invited to, right? Which I was like, what the fuck? But all right, not that I'm against it, just
I know.
I'm a different,
That may not
dude.
take so well.
Right. So anyway, so like again, in their defense, they're all super open-minded, and I am what I am. They're like, "What did you do?" And I was like, ayahuasca trip. And they're like, But like, anyways, so again, in their defense, they were super open-minded and like try to understand from their own perspective. And I was there today, and this one dude was talking about it very interestingly. But he was like, I heard that people have bad trips and like demons, can attach to them. And I go, the first part's true, the second part's true, but it's not complete.
Right.
And I go, demons can attach to them. But do you think it's the plant or the plant shows you the demon? And they were like, and they were just like, and in their defense, they were like, wow. And I was like, that's why you have to have a good team. And I go, I can give you a true example. I'm not going to put this person's name out there, but I just did it with a very, very powerful person. Wildly rich, was an atheist, did not have necessarily good family relations, and there were some demons that came up. We'll say a lot of fucking demons.
Right.
Now, we had this amazing medicine man that I'll only do it with, and he coached it out. And since then, she's been sober, great relations with her family, and believes in God.
That perspective.
And I gave him that. And again, in this Bible studies group, these people were all like, I honestly think a couple of them are going to come to me on the low and be like, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But I was saying, like, yo, like, if you don't know what you're doing, I definitely want to start with ayahuasca. But like mushrooms, you're probably safe. But just in case if you're worried about it, like, I could be your guide. I could guide you with mushrooms. Like ayahuasca is a different level. Like you got to have a proper medicine man. You got to have like some stuff. But if you really want to see if something's there, like I could teach you how to handle it. And I was like, if you don't want to run from your problems, but like trust me, if it's there, it's not the mushroom or the ayahuasca bringing it out. It's showing you.
Right.
And now you're just aware of it.
All it's doing is enhancing your perception.
Yeah.
Because the truth is always there, whether you know it or not.
Right. So it's like you might as well face it and get.
Yeah.
And again, you don't necessarily fight it. You have a conversation with it, and it goes.
Right. Exactly.
Question.
Yes.
Did you do dieta on?
Yeah.
Okay. For how long?
I did it for 2 weeks. No sex. I got rid of Instagram. No violent movies. So the dieta is you eat very bland food.
Can we pause that? You said no
sex, no jerking off. Because what it is, no, bro, that's like one of the hardest parts, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's very important.
How long was this?
It's you're supposed to do a minimum. You're supposed to do 2 weeks, like realistically, a minimum of a week. You're not supposed to smoke weed, no mushrooms, no alcohol. Yo, bro, I would drop like 15 pounds, and I would feel phenomenal.
Yeah, you did.
I felt phenomenal. The reason why there's no sex, even if it's like your wife, is because it's supposed to be strictly your energy when you go in.
Oh,
which makes sense.
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
that makes sense.
And then
I got to understand it.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
but as soon as it finished, I was like, I looked at the medicine man. I was like, I'm ready for a fucking beer, and he was like, whiskey. It's so funny because like so some people go sober, but like that's not what I need in my journey. So
Right.
So like me and the medicine man were like just getting down.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm bringing you to Amazon, but he was just basically like, I don't know what you got, but like he was, I don't want to say this on the radio, but some divine stuff.
Right.
Like connection that he was basically like, you're going to help connect a lot of people in the world, and you're going to be the bridge between very, I guess makes sense, very different people.
Raheim, I'll say it for him.
Yeah.
I met him through his wife, who wasn't at the time his wife. She was setting up sessions for him at a place I was a GM for, right? And so when I first met him, he does a massage with Carmen, who's now about to be my wife, who at the time we were still struggling with, what the hell is this between she and I or whatever else. And then he and I sat down, we started talking for the longest. And then he started noticing like the Metatron's cube on Carmen's hand and all this other type of stuff. And he and I started talking and vibing. Next thing you know, I'm like, hey, what you doing, dog? Let's meet up. Next thing I know, I put him in my phone as Luke Ethereal. Guess what the name of me and Carmen's business is? The Ethereal Realm. Right. That happened after.
You know, it's wild.
Put that in there.
I didn't know that part, but come full circle. The logo of our podcast is Metatron's cube, and Rock didn't start off as the co-host.
No.
So like that. That's
I was the first interviewee.
Yeah.
I saw that episode.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you've seen this before. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Okay. Where were we?
So I wonder where that is. We're in the Akashic Records.
Yes. There you go. All right. Yeah.
See, it comes right back.
It comes back. Okay. Tell me what you want to know.
All right. So first off, do you astral travel to get there? Like, is it like an actual library? Like, is that a dumb question?
Great question. So there are many methods in which one can access the Akashic Records. Some people do it through astral journeying. Some people do it through meditation. They go on like shamanic journeying. I do it through prayer.
Okay.
It's called the Pathway Prayer Method by Linda Howe.
Pathway Prayer.
How could I look that up? If
you look up
is it Google
how to access the Akashic Records, she wrote a book about it. How to access the Akashic Records by Linda Howe.
Okay.
That was my textbook in my training, and I also teach this now. So, my word is my wand. Right, and I honor. Yes.
Oh,
that's why
that's
why I'm a fucking wizard. Come on now, shit.
I thought it was the fingers.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all.
Yeah, no.
So my word is my wand. Where I speak things into existence. So I know that when I do my prayer, I have my connection. I'm speaking directly to Source, God, Goddess, all that is.
Right.
And then the beam come down, and we in that bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you ask your questions, and then I receive the wisdom from your masters, teachers, your loved ones, from your higher self, from your
So you're
past
a conduit,
lives.
is what you're saying
I
when
am.
you're going through it.
I am.
Okay.
Makes sense, especially when he said he was mounted. So that's like,
Right.
like a spirit.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
in church, it's like when the Holy Spirit takes over and Eve or whatever. It's
Right.
like a different spirit, but same spirit. Just,
So, you know.
yeah.
Well,
Right.
that's up for debate.
Right.
So yeah, I go in and then we navigate that way. Some people do astral travel. You know what I'm saying? I have one of my students. That's the way that they go in. They project out of their body and they go in, and it's like fucking chutes and ladders and shit. You know?
So, my word is my wand. Brings me back to the episode with the physicist and the energetic healer. Again, let's use that term. He did the show, and he said he originally wasn't going to do it because he thought we cursed too much. Cool.
Oh
dude.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was super cool. Super cool, dude. But he thought like that we were saying things that needed to be said, and he said that I had like a, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but an extreme coherence because my word always aligned with what I was doing and meant. So like I literally, when you wrote my word is my wand, I just put that line down, coherence. So I'm sure that helps you manifest because you're probably consistent.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I work a lot. You know, I work on myself a lot. I'm in meditation. I'm in prayer. I do my journey work, you know, with my medicines. I hold space and have space held for me so that I can journey. You know, I also have a crazy, beautiful, loving, dynamic, really real relationship with my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Who be like, don't do that. And then I'd be like, but I want to. And then shit gets fucked up. And then they be like, we told you not to do it. Right. And I'm like, hey, you're right. So I'm learning now so much better to be obedient because it's so much easier. When I'm obedient, everything just works out. I'm like, y'all see something that I can't see. So how about instead of me fighting that, I just honor that now is not the time. It's not never. It's just not now.
That's beautiful.
You know what? In layman's term, that's like me arguing with y'all about what color something is. I can't see it.
It comes full circle again.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Jocko Willink?
Who?
Jocko? He's like a yoked like a military dude, former Navy SEAL leader, but he has a thing called discipline equals freedom, and the concept is people think like their freedom is doing what they want when they want, and it's like no, you get more freedom, you get more when you listen to those that know, and like and when you're disciplined. Like he's like people think like if you're disciplined, like you lose all the time. He's like no, you just get shit done that you need to, and then you have more freedom at the end.
Ashe.
Right.
So again, it's always the same thing, just different terms.
Because we all are of the one source.
Right.
Exactly. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, boom. So let's talk about this. I want to share with y'all the first time I experienced the divine.
Okay.
All right.
Because I grew up atheist.
Really?
Okay.
Yes, I did
Didn't
not
know
believe
this.
in God.
Okay.
I thought that was a crock. And like I experienced way too much, you know, growing up as a flamboyant queer, where at that time I was gay.
I was going
Yeah,
to ask
right.
if
you know what? Speak to that because people need to hear that story.
Yeah.
Okay, gay versus queer. Okay, so this is my thing. Like, if you two liked men, you would be gay.
Okay.
Okay.
Me being queer is everything else, all the space in between.
Gotcha.
So it's the expression and the attraction of the rainbow versus just red, just blue.
I don't think I follow still.
Still don't follow? Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if
I've had it explained to me before.
Okay.
if you are, again, this is my experience of gay. Gay,
Dude, I'm
you know, hey. It's heteronormative.
Heteronormative.
That was too much.
Come on.
Okay,
now.
go
I'm
back.
like, come on now. I was born in '72. Help me out now, right?
It is the expectation. It's still gay. Still plays to the expectations of how a man is supposed to interact with another man.
Okay.
Right. You are a guy. You are a guy. We do these certain kinds of things in this way. There is a.
So it's like two masculine men,
Yes.
and then queer would be like, it could be a masculine man and a feminine man. It could be two effeminate men. It could be
Any combination of the sort.
So I'm learning.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would say that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Also, like, it's queer just has. Thank you. Queer just has more freedom and expression in it. You know, it all of the rules that say you're supposed to be one way. Queer says, fuck all of that. I'm going to be all of it. You know, which is why I feel comfortable showing up in a dress with lipstick, with my weavers on, because I'm like, if I was gay, when I was gay, when I claimed gayness, I didn't have that same kind of freedom, because me as a black gay man has to look a certain way, but me as a black or melanated queer being, the melanated freedom.
Queer being.
It's for me to process.
So words, but think about though. Words are real.
Words
are real.
His word is his one. He's very deliberate with his words.
And in fact, I apologize. I keep saying he. It's not he. I'm supposed to.
So my pronouns are they, them. But I'm also having a whole like rediscovery with my pronouns, because I also honor that in order for me to truly be a shapeshifter, I have to let go of my attachment to what that is, because you see me as he, and I can honor that you see me as he.
My buddy that does the Ifa is gay, and him and I always tell him like
Ifa.
Did I say it wrong?
You said Ife.
I thought I said Ifa. My bad. All right. Anyways, but him and I actually always talk about it. We always laugh, and I'm always like, you know, I think I understand gay. I think I understand that stuff. I don't understand when people get mad at me for dressing them as they appear to me. Like, I don't get mad at them for like dressing how they want. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, I'm trying. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know the rules. Like explain. Like the first conversation we had, I was like, okay, help me out. You know, I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
No, and it ain't like it was a bad conversation, because we actually sat there for what, an hour. You was just signing up at the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, an hour later, we still talking. I'm like, for real? Okay.
My biggest thing is, can you have a sense of humor about yourself?
Right.
And anybody that takes themselves too serious, straight, gay,
not balanced,
whatever, I don't really fuck with.
Yeah.
So like,
not balanced.
Like, you know, like Antonio would make white jokes and stuff like that all the time, which I think are hysterical. Right. Like, and I find gay jokes funny. Right. And as long as we both have sense of humor, then it's cool. Yeah. And you know, nobody's trying to be hurtful.
But you both, back to the spirituality, you both recognize the source within each other. That's why you're able to be like, okay, whatever. Like, this joker sent me and Carmen a text message the other day. I was crying. Like, you mind if I tell him? Paraphrasing. So we trying to get together to watch some football, and then Carmen want to talk fashion with him, right? And so he was like, all right, yeah, you know, I like going, you know, watch football, but I don't like watching. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't like watching all of it. Next thing you know, I read the text, and he's like, well, this weekend I'm doing some gay shit, so.
See, that's funny, yeah.
I was like, seriously? I was like, well, I guess we'll catch you next weekend. I love it, though, man. I love it, bro.
There's a Joe Rogan skit. I love Joe Rogan, where he's talking about.
Kind of look like him.
I was about to say, he got a little Joe Rogan about
I'll take that as a compliment.
And he sound a little bit like him, too, yeah.
I love Joe Rogan.
He got a podcast.
Yeah, dude, he's my favorite podcast. He's actually the reason why I wanted to do a podcast, was because I thought he was so open-minded, had so many diverse, different types of mindsets, and let them just express themselves. But he has this joke that I've just found hysterical. And it's basically, he says something, and he was like, oh, that's gay. And then he goes, I don't know why. Some things are just gay. He goes, I like them. He goes, musicals, they're gay. He was like, and then like some people are laughing. He goes, if you hung out with my friends, you'd find that funny. But it was just so like, to me, it was such a funny, like, I forget what he says. He's like, you know, like sprinkled donuts, like he's like listening to all these things. He's like listening to all these things he likes.
All the little boy stuff.
Like he's listening to all these things he likes, and he's like, I like musicals, but they're fucking gay. Like, and he was like, anyone says they're not, you're lying. They're gay.
Exactly.
You know, and gay is just happy.
It literally comes from happy. Yeah.
Let a bitch be happy.
Yeah.
And this is also something that I have.
Happy and be yourself.
Right. Why are we so concerned, people? Why are people so concerned about how I find my own happiness?
I got to answer.
Come on, please.
I got to answer. They're not confident in themselves. That's the problem. You're not the problem. At the end of the day, you're living your truth. They're so distorted from their truth, they can't appreciate yours. That's the bottom line.
My assumption is they're probably not happy themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like, if people, you know who doesn't get mad at somebody being successful? somebody's successful.
Exactly.
Somebody's happy probably isn't mad at you for being happy. Yeah. So I mean,
but that's why I love you.
Okay.
That's why I love you.
yeah.
Like, hey, we can all do this and ascend.
Ashe.
And then the people that are not comfortable with themselves, straight, gay, trans, whatever, are the ones that get mad at people for not addressing them the right way. I feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, dude.
Or get mad because you don't look like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's oftentimes what makes you mad about somebody. I got to quote Kevin. Kevin is the one that like taught me this.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
It's usually what makes you mad about somebody is something you don't like about yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's usually like what
it's like back in the day, the Klan member that would get mad at the gay man, but he's secretly gay.
Yeah. Politicians all the time.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Super.
Yeah.
Super
The
like
politricks, as Billy Carson would say.
Like the family value politicians that are having affairs, like little boys and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So for the homo thugs out there, listen. I love me. And you can love you too. We in 2022. You do not. I know everybody got a different thing where they feel like they still got to be closeted, you know? And people come out. It's fucked up that we even have to come out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know why that is even a thing.
Yeah.
But you too can find your joy. And just because I found mine does not mean that is a slight against you. But may it be an encouragement to you to live your truth out loud.
Right, because we're all imperfect pieces of the puzzle of creation. So if we were all the same, we don't fit into the puzzle.
I also think the media also exasperates it, right? So I think the media...
Don't go down that rabbit hole, man.
But I think the media will try to convince... And that's something Antonio told me. He said before he moved up to Georgia, he moved up here, like, my boy, I basically got him to move up here. He said he thought everybody that was like to the right, like hated gay people and was racist. And he goes, I came up and was like, oh, most people are cool as shit. Like, and it's
right.
I feel like they'll try to convince conservative straight people that gay people are trying to convince people to become gay, and then they'll convince gay people that conservative straight people hate them.
Right, exactly.
And the reality is, most people just don't really care. And as long as you have a sense of humor, like conversations go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like long time doesn't work.
If it's goodwill, and you can feel goodwill. You know what I mean? Like if you but again, back to what we were talking about before, if you're not in tune enough with yourself, and I mean that literally tune, your frequency and vibration and resonance will be off. So you'll be imagining whatever that's wrong with you onto somebody else for no reason at all, other than you jacked up.
That's very interesting. Kind of brings us into the next thing. Like, so you're obviously into healing. Like, who is the work for, and why is it important?
Yes. So I work with. I work with lots of different kinds of people.
I imagine.
You know,
right.
And they come to me for all different kinds of reasons. So men, women, queer folks, trans folks, businesses, and the reason why this healing work is important is because healing. So the etymology of the word healing, you know, again,
okay.
Me too. So is to return to wholeness.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we are all returning to wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
If you trust and believe that we all come from one source, we will all ascend back to the one source. So healing is just us coming back to us. You know, you coming back to you when you were your brightest, most joy-filled, active, big self. Right? And it's important because we live in a space where there is a perpetuation and a forcing of darkness upon us. Like, bitches literally trying to send us to the dark ages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are policing women's bodies, policing melanated bodies, and like, and being policed by people who don't look like us, who are not us, telling us what we can do with our bodies. Right? And so when we do healing work, we get to reclaim that for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, I own me.
Right.
You know? And what a gift it is to own me, which then allows me to show up again like this, every goddamn time. And I ain't gonna flex. You know, when I first came in, and this and because I have my soul is feminine, my body is masculine. Okay. So I experience the world from both perspectives, right?
I can see that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, I ain't gonna lie. When I came in here, I did feel a little way. You know, because I'm like, it's 3 white dudes. I was hoping to see your ass. Like, you know, it's
like
just.
the hell?
You know, but also, I'm like, well, shit, I'm not going to fucking shrink.
Right.
I'm going to still expand, and I'm still going to be me, and I'm still going to laugh, and I'm still going to be joyful because that's who I am.
Right.
And I own my space, and I also honor my feelings.
Exactly. As well, you should know what some synchronicity is. You know what our mission is for our business?
No.
What he just said. Paraphrasing, reconnecting humanity to spirituality.
Which is so necessary. I put something up, fucking meme, and I hate social. I have to get better at not hating social media. It's a tool, and I shouldn't. But I have this hate relationship with it. But I know that it can be useful.
Right.
But it's like like a traditional looking like Poindexter white guy sitting down across from like a shaman, and he goes, I don't remember if it's like I feel anxious or what's going on with the world. The shaman guy's saying, people or you are no longer, I think it's either you or people or your people are no longer connected to spirit. And one of my agents said the other day, so I run like a sales office, which is not the way you'd think a sales office is run, but it's all about like mental, physical, spiritual, and the money will follow, right?
Right.
So we're going through it, and I'm like, all right, you guys got to like handle your shit, and And one of my agents was like, right, guys, so like anxiety is fear of the future, depression is living in the past. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to quote you. Taylor Neal said that. I told him I was going to quote him every time I say it. But I thought that was great. So it's kind of like
Right.
what you guys are saying.
Right.
That's awesome, though. I love the etymology, too. Like I can tell you're definitely into words.
I am.
I love words.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you should hear some of my spells, honey. Ooh.
What is the word you use for weak?
I say strong.
Strong.
So this
Explain
is not
that.
7 days. So 7 days, WEEK. I say one strong. This is a strong. This is not a. And one can argue, oh, well, they're spelled differently. Yes, but it's the vibration of the word.
Listen, you done said that 1,000 times to me, and it is just now sinking in. Well, Willie Lump the light has finally come on. Like, oh, strong.
Just like, have you heard of like, people don't say, a lot of melanated folks say, grand rising. You know this?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like because
Happy grand rising.
We're right, because we don't want to say good morning, because morning implies that you're mourning for something. You're weeping.
I didn't know why.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know why.
I did not know why.
Yeah,
right.
That's why. It's
I like that.
I don't want to bring that in. I'm bringing in rising. So I say rich rising, bitch, because we bringing in money. Hello.
I'm with that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right.
Speak
That's
to me.
that's another thing too is, I used to be in I'm still part of it, like the very spiritual community. Actually, Kevin's. So like I was part of his core. And they're about it now. And Kevin was never not about it, but just a lot of people in that community would basically like almost have like a adversarial approach to money, or not approach, but view on it.
Right.
And Antonio actually is the one that told me this quote, but it was like, "Don't be so heavenly that you're useless here on earth."
Hello.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
forgot
like,
where I heard that, but yeah, that has stuck with me for years.
I don't know where I heard it, but he's who I heard it from. But I didn't have that phrase. But basically, when I told like Kevin's group again, which it's not knock dog, like, and they're doing it now. They're commercializing a little bit and stuff. But I was like, yo, you guys, most of you are all in the exact same position as the next year or two. So eventually, like, I think everything you're saying is 100% true, but you're not applying it apparently. Like, I'm gonna go make a bunch of money and I'm gonna buy land and give it to you guys because you guys are doing the right thing. You just you need somebody like me to go make it. Like, and that's not like being cocky. It's funny because like me and Kevin now are talking about buying land together because he's fucking killing it. Like he's
right,
and crushing it.
And Kevin's also an actor too.
Super powerful spiritual dude.
Right.
Like people just follow him. He has this
literally,
people follow him.
I was like, I got to meet. I was like, I don't know who he is, but I got to meet this dude. Walked up to him, started talking. I was like, oh, this makes sense. Why I got.
He's created this group called the Light Beings. Really, really interesting.
Oh wait, sexy tall bald head.
Yeah, it's my dog.
Hell yeah!
Stop it.
Wait a minute. I was just at one of his things at the environment.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, he married him and Danielle.
Yeah, so it's my dog. So like, I was part of his core group, like
He's
the ones that like I used to lead the meditations.
Is it episode 3?
I think it's episode 3 on here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it.
crazy.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, right? So like, it's funny because I was just talking the other day, and he says like, he thinks about that stuff sometimes, and like he's like, like whenever I have business ideas, I always think of you, like, because of your spirituality with it. But like, it's just interesting, right? So, Rich Rising, like, I think the spiritual community, due to being taught or somebody, projecting or planting that negative seed, like, we're in a material world. Money's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though? You know what part of it is? Kind of what we're talking about, like the meaning of things. Like that actual dollar isn't really the thing. It's the currency. Which, if you look at current, you think of current, which is energy, which goes back to Tesla, energy, frequency, vibration. It's a currency that you're dealing with, supply and demand. Get your mind off of this money is terrible. This blah blah. It's the root of all evil. No, the love of it is the root of all evil. That's
when you put the money
issue.
above your ethics is what
Exactly. But just like anything else, like if I was to go out and and take everything known to man and try to get bigger and all this other type of stuff, and that's all I care about, right? And that's all my intellect is on, that's all my actions are on, then it's a wrap. However, if I keep myself balanced, right, and keep moving, in an ascending type of way, then it's all good. There's nothing wrong with it. So really, from where I am, and I know I'm jumping in, but there you can call it good and bad, but that there is gray, right?
Every 99.9% of the world is a degree of something.
Yeah. So when somebody comes in and they say to me, "Oh, that's terrible," I don't even know if I don't know what they're talking about. I'm immediately like, let's stop there. Let me go research. I listen to you, but I'm just like, nah, it's some bullshit. I know it's going to be some bullshit coming up. Or this is all great. Because you can look at Luciferic type of stuff, which is the light bringer, and then it's going to tell you, oh yeah, you can do this, you great, you this, you that, you da, 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 and then you end up doing something stupid. Or you think something is all, you know what I mean? So if anything is all something,
what?
No.
So I don't know really anything about that. So what is Luciferic?
You have to remember when Carmen was telling you about the Rosicrucians?
Yeah.
Start looking off into that a little bit. I don't know enough to explain it all, but I listened to bits and pieces and go back and forth, and then that stuck with me. I was like, oh, because they were talking about Lucifer being that name meaning the light bringer. And then Satan is the name that's more associated with the hell. And
so there's technically 7 devils, right? So Satan would be more the adversarial. Lucifer was like the favorite angel.
Right.
I'm loving this shit. Seven devils, come on.
So Lucifer was
Trolls.
The favorite angel, the closest to God.
Right.
And then his sin was he
Beautiful,
tried to be like God,
and,
right? So the Gnostics would believe that this basically world is ruled by Lucifer. My view on this whole thing, and I'm going to tell you a little bit, is if you look at the God that's penalized in every single mythology, every mythology that I know of, it's the one that tries to help humans. So my view on this is if this is God's all experience, Prometheus, exactly. Prometheus bringing fire, bringing light,
giving it to the people.
Very similar, right?
Yeah.
So my view on this is, especially if we take a Christian view, or at least the approach that's supposed to be the Christian view, like the forgiving part, this would be like God's meditation on how to forgive that angel, right? Like every experience. For anybody listening, I'm not fucking devil worshiper. I'm just
right, exactly. You have to say that. See, it's certain circles that you can say this in.
Because that'll be cut, right? And
right,
exactly. So, anyways, I don't want to. Anyways, but there's 7 devils. Satan is like the adversary. There's Beelzebub. There's I don't remember. Baal, I think he's the one that they.
Would one be named Enlil?
I think so. I don't know that much. I just know obviously Satan and Lucifer are the 2 most known. But there's 7 devils or something like that. Okay. And everything always ties into 7. And then if you look at the Hermetic principles, there's always opposite sides to the coin. So if there's 7 main angels, there has to be 7 devils. Right. And if you look at the all is not judging, it's just experiencing, right? So it's almost necessary for, I don't want to say necessary because I don't know the grand scheme. But yeah, so anyways, before I go too far on shit I don't truly understand, I just wanted to ask you about the Luciferian stuff because I don't know anything about it other than he was supposed to be the intelligent and the beautiful one.
Right, the light bringer.
Yeah, the light bringer.
Yeah.
Which I was always like, how is that bad? But I don't know the teachings.
Oh yeah, just look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I go right now, Joe Dispenza and Billy Carson are my people
Joe Dispenza,
that I'm that I'm just rolling with it, like binge watching them, and then I'll see something. So this was the other morning. I forget the guy's name, but it came up and he was talking about the Luciferic principles. And at first I was like, don't want to see this. Then I was like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. And I'm like, oh, it's not what I thought. I had the United Methodist Church in my head again before. I was like, let me stop and hear what he got to say. And so what he was saying actually made sense. And like you, I'm not a devil worshiper, but I wanted to know what he was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how would you defend yourself if you don't know what the other side does?
Exactly.
Right.
All of it is information.
All of it's information.
You know, and then we get to decide, like, it is up to you to decide how you desire to use that information. Is it going to be of benefit to you and those who you serve?
Right.
Or is it going to be of detriment? But because we live in such a binary culture of good and bad, this or that, man or woman, we don't allow ourselves to experience the space in between, and the magic is in the space in between.
Joe Dispenza, the magic is in the unknown. Versus your predictable future.
So when you lived in Taiwan, I know in the Western world it's very binary. It's right or wrong, yes or no. I've heard the East is more fluid.
There is more of a spiritual center in my experience in living in Taiwan. But they was fucked up too.
Okay.
You know, the way they treat women, that shit was whack. You know,
what now?
The way they treated women.
Oh, way they treat women.
No, I don't mean like that. I just mean, are they more like understanding of degrees, or is it also like yes or no?
I feel like for me to answer, I can only answer from my perspective, right?
Right.
No, it was still very binary.
Okay, so it's just human nature. It's
Got
just
you.
human nature.
Bottom line.
Yeah, it was still very binary.
Is there a lot of it? I think might have to. Again, I'm almost trying to look for like how could people be better, right? So, in our modern language, English is very descriptive. Words mean what they mean, right?
Right.
And a lot of it is because we came from like, Western society. Like Greek there's like 7 words for the word love. There's like brotherly love. There's like all these different words. Whereas like Aramaic, like the language of Jesus, was very fluid. A lot of Native American cultures are very fluid, and they tend, from my understanding, again, we might just romanticize the past. It could be super like also like yes or no.
Right.
But my understanding is everything was considered a degree. Or like, and they didn't want words to have set meanings. It was supposed to be up to the interpreter.
Right.
Which is also why there's not much written language from that.
You know what? That makes sense though, because like you look at what wisdom is actually comprised of. Knowledge plus understanding equals wisdom, which is the power to discern what is true and what is just. So without the understanding of or the perception of the truth of what the person is giving you, then it's a wrap.
Yeah. So it's just really interesting. How do we marry the two, right? Like because the Western thought and that rigorous rigidness does have benefits, right? Like there's certain like medical benefits, and there's certain like scientific benefits, and then there's certain like a lot of like structure, not that much aesthetic benefits, but like structural benefits. And then from the other, there's so much like understanding and compassion and sympathy and like aesthetic benefits, right? So I would say, my wife always laughs because she says I'm a very masculine man, but I'm like very in touch with my feminine side, right? I watch like dark cartoon movies. I love like gay shit. Like, like gay stuff. Like,
gay shit.
Like I'm a basic bitch. Like pumpkin anything. Like I love like my little Yorkie with like a bow in her hair. Like, dude, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
So I grew up very rigid. I was friends with everybody, but I just thought it was like right or wrong, and then I would try to like understand.
Right. Same.
Right. That's something I feel like we have like a connection on like that, like sports and like stuff like that. Like you win or you lose.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not how
exactly.
well you play.
Yeah.
Like that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then like as I got older and became way more spiritual, I was like, oh, it's like, and I'm happy I had my other background.
Right.
To have a foundation.
Right.
I would need one or the other to start with. And
you know what that is, dog? Like a person can have a high intellect, right? And back to the words, you can have a high intellect, but that doesn't mean that you have intelligence, right? So on the intellect side, that's the knowing this and knowing that. The gent side is more of the creative side, the difference between your left and your right brain, which is why when you hemisync, that's when everything comes out the way that it's supposed to come out. So you have a very high intelligence because you've built upon what you had from the gate. Same with you. Same with me.
Right.
That's how it works out.
So did you start off, because I can just tell by the etymology and your like appreciation of history that you definitely have a very left-sided brain too.
Yes,
Like-
but I'm like primary right brain. I thought it was left brain, but
I was gonna ask what your foundation was and what you.
I was about to
and
say,
then
if
what
I
you
had to
added
guess,
on.
I would have said you started primary right.
I started primary left.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
then my creativity came as I
you grew into
found
it.
my gayness and my
Right.
queerness. It was like
Because you say you started off gay and then you went queer.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I keep jumping in, man.
Gotcha. We haven't even gotten into the dance. Like he's like.
I'm sorry. Yeah, take over.
Okay, dance. It's I've had a really beautiful dance career, and I'm still in it. I'm still performing and traveling. I was just in a
My joke
12-day.
ripped up like coleslaw.
Hello, I know y'all see me in a dress. Don't think I'm gonna whoop your ass.
See, that's all I ask. Just have a sense of humor.
right.
I
just
beat
did-
up by a guy in a dress too. You better have a sense of humor.
Oh,
Oh,
baby.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
because
you
it's
better.
funny.
Yeah.
Because bitches gonna laugh at you.
exactly.
So I just did a 12-day dance residency in New Orleans. And then, like,
Yeah.
I've performed in Cuba and Taiwan and lots of places in the United States. And I love dance. It's a dance is a way that I can communicate where words don't matter. They don't need to matter because I can show you with my body.
Right.
Like, see, I'm going to show you this. People who are watching will see.
Right.
Like your energy to me, I can express it to you in movement. So it has this to it, but it also has that and a little bit of this.
I don't even know what that means. But it's fucking
Never.
crazy.
Right?
Never-
but
never
you
had to
get to
explain
experience
like
that.
Yeah,
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
Right.
Does everybody have the same type of energy?
Hell no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like Rock has more of a this
Okay.
and that. And he also has a very distinct
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So you definitely
Yeah.
have a form of synesthesia. Just I don't know what kind, but something.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just I feel it through movement. My body knows. I just, express the shit.
But
how I do.
Raheim is able to see it in you too, though, when he's teaching yoga
I'm
class.
sure.
When he's teaching his
Oh.
yoga class, it's the way that things are communicated that makes the class so good.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Do people do you teach it out here?
I do. I sub at the gym, and then I teach online.
I'll probably come to the gym with my wife one of these days.
Oh, that'd be great. Kick y'all ass.
I'm sure. I'm not flexible.
It is ego shattering.
Oh no.
Believe that.
I
But
am,
you leave feeling great.
I am sure I'm walking in to get smashed.
Oh yeah.
But-
yeah.
But that's what I'm signing up for. Like I'm aware of that.
Hey, look, I'll go with you.
Yeah,
No shame in my game. I don't care.
So when you see people's energies, because I've always wished I could do that, and I don't.
I don't know, man. I don't know. On the one hand, like I can feel it.
I can feel it.
But I don't.
I
don't
can
know-
feel it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see it or not. It's kind of those things like, wish I could, but maybe sometime I'd be like, I wish I didn't see that.
Does
know.
it change
know.
for people, or do people have a base pattern? Obviously, good and bad days. I'm sure it's different.
Yeah,
but
different strokes for different folks, huh?
Facts.
But it changes like you do, like with every thought,
Right,
with every
right.
life experience,
Yeah,
life
the
occurrence.
same way thought changes the water, the crystals in the water and stuff like that. I would
Same
imagine.
thing.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'm not also walking around seeing everybody's shit because that would be overwhelming.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't
I
want to
was
see all
thinking the
that.
same.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's like we are having this moment. We're in intimate space. Okay, well then let me share this with you, and then
Right.
I open myself
Right.
up to it.
Right.
Because if I'm just walking around like I
Yeah.
used to be, and
You're taking on a lot of shit if you're doing that.
Yeah. You know what that sounds like to me? On the Superman movie when he was growing up and trying to figure out how he could stop hitting the world. And he had to focus on one thing so that it wouldn't run him like nuts.
I don't remember that. That
Oh,
sounds
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
That sounds
man.
like really.
Yeah. Even when what was it? Zod came down.
oh yes,
Yeah, then so he pulled off the little mask and he was like, he was like, yeah, you're experiencing all of the world now. You don't know how to focus. Yeah,
Give it very
that's what I imagine seeing everybody's energy would be. running you nuts.
Have y'all watched Charm before? Y'all seen Charm?
Of course.
I mean, not in a while, but yeah.
Not in a while. Okay.
Yeah.
So the episode where I think it was Prue who had absorbed the powers of empathy. And so she didn't know how to turn it off. So she was experiencing everybody's emotions in the entire world.
I don't remember the episode, but that got to be hell.
Oh, it was hell. And she was in a warehouse like, oh my God, just leave me alone. Just get away from me. Like, I can't hear you. I can't.
Right.
And it used to be like that being in New York. When I lived in New York, that was my experience. And it was extremely over. And it's when I first started getting into Reiki. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me. Something is happening. I don't open myself up. I can't. Like, I'm walking down the street, especially when I would cross streets. It would be like this surge of energy would come in through my spine, and I would it felt like there were eyes in my body everywhere all at once, and I could not be invisible. There was nowhere that I could be where there was no one else. I was always with people, even when I was alone. Fucked up.
You know what? Maybe you can help me with this then. So within the past few years or so, sometimes I'll go into places and I feel like this. I feel like damn near everybody in there is trying to pull my energy. And I just stop feeling myself doing this. I'm like, finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm finna go. And folks be like, well, why are you leaving so quick? Just like, gotta go. So Carmen is one of the only people I've ever like expressed it to as it was happening. We were at, well, I ain't gonna name the place because that'll give a negative light. But we were somewhere that we would, frequent. And when we walked in, we both looked at each other like, "Ooh, the energy is not good." And we were sitting there at the bar, and then so you'll know how off this was. Bartender come up and says, "Yeah, Rock, what you having? You want a beer?" I was like, "Nah, I'll take a water." And she looked at me like, "What's wrong?" I said, I feel like all kind of." And as I was trying to explain, 2 or 3 people walked up that we didn't know. Some other people walked over, and I'm like, "Good God, we got to get out of here, like right now." So I don't know what that is, but that's been going on a while.
Okay, I would ask you first, are you doing any consistent energetic protection?
Protection, no, not specifically.
How do you do that?
So you can do it many ways. So one is like to visualize, like do a grounding meditation, and then visualize yourself being surrounded in light.
So I feel the green light, but I'm not. My intention is not focused on protection.
Yeah, no. The
I gotta start
potential,
focusing on the
right,
protection.
is protection.
Okay. All right.
And what I say, what I do is I do roots from my tailbone and my feet going down to Mother Earth, and then I release first. I release anything that I may have absorbed in my sleep. I do this before I leave.
Okay.
Right? Get that shit about.
Are you Sanskriting it, or are you just saying it?
I'm not saying anything. I'm visualizing.
Yeah, visualizing
just
it. Okay.
Seeing it.
Okay, got you.
They go down there. I'm emptying myself out. I like to think of like my root opening and then sand emptying. Right. And so I empty myself with sand. Of course, honey. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
No doubt. Yeah.
And then I open my crown and I send out these golden coils out to the universe, and then I draw in source energy. Fill me up, radiate it out, and send it down to Mother Earth so she can also get some.
Okay.
Everything I do is also always in tandem with Mother Earth. She needs healing too.
As above, so below.
Close my shit up, and then I put it all in my aura, and then I create my shield of divine protection. And I say, this shield is a shield of divine protection. May it protect all of my bodies on all multidimensional planes of existence through any and all directions of time and space, from any negative energies, people, attachments, anything that does not serve my greatest and highest good. And if there are any other qualities I wish to program into my shield, and may the shield also draw to me, magnetize to me more abundance and love and peace and clarity in my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And I release all of the access energies that I no longer need so that other beings can benefit from that. Boom. And then I go out and here I am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was great. Yeah. That was really nice.
That's part of my balance that I've been missing.
I got to do that stuff.
Arrogance. Ego.
Right. I'm a strong black man.
Exactly.
I can do it.
Exactly. I'm smart. I can figure this out. Running around here like, what the hell? That's what it is.
I don't know if I asked.
Thank you,
You're welcome, bro.
How did you become the transformation wizard? Did I ask that?
No, you did not.
Sorry.
No worries. It actually happened this year.
Really?
My 33rd birthday, I did a beautiful.
You don't say.
I did a mushroom journey, called in my people, honey, and my spirits shit, they worked me. They worked me.
Mm-hmm.
And they helped me to see that I need to stop asking people for permission to be who I am.
Oh yeah, you got to. You could have asked me that. I'd have told you.
I'm like, well, can I say that I'm this person? Can I say that I'm magical? Can I say that
I cannot picture you being like that.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I know, because I'm here.
For what we see.
This is my experience.
Yes.
Right. Because I'm here now.
Yeah.
But I was so in a place of questioning and fear about what other people. That's been a thing throughout my life. Being concerned about how other people are going to receive me, right? And now I just don't give a fuck.
You can't set yourself on fire to keep everybody warm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
facts.
now I'm living my most magical dreams, and I love it. And
because you love you.
Because I love me.
Without self-love, unconditional love can neither be given nor received.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm big, and I'm bold, and I'm loud, and my grandma was like, when I first came out, he gonna be a loud one. And I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Grandma's right.
And I need more people to be louder, especially queer folks. Like
right.
I show up this way because it's important for you to see a visibly queer person in this spot in this way.
That's why I told you this needs to be heard. And we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
And not just you.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I go somewhere, I'm like, where the queer people at?
Yeah,
and
it's time
not
to wake
that
up.
It ain't that we ain't there. I just don't see them. And because I don't see them, they're not there.
They're hiding.
So.
Nice. And then the last one, are there any other wisdoms you would like to offer our audience?
Yes.
Bring it.
Dear audience member. Yeah, okay, so first off.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Bridgerton, and I love.
Yo, my wife loves it.
Oh, it's so good.
She loves it. Well, we went to that she wanted to do Bridgerton ball.
Did y'all go?
No, we didn't go yet.
Oh,
because her friends didn't want to do it or something like that.
What?
Oh, it's over?
It's over.
I told her I'd do it too because she was like, Luke, I don't know if you'd like it. And I was like, if you want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm so sad.
I think she thought about asking you and Carmen.
We would have went in a heartbeat.
She's going to be so disappointed when I tell her that. Because she was like thinking about Carmen. I was like, yeah, ask him.
Wait till y'all
It's
see the
over?
win.
It's over.
Yeah, she was so excited about that.
Was the last day.
She was so excited about that.
Yeah, we would have went.
Yeah. Okay. Wisdoms. Come back, girl. Come back. Bring it back.
Yeah,
It's okay. Yes. The importance of honoring the elements. Every day, I encourage you to take a moment to go outside and just breathe some good, clean air.
Okay.
Put your feet on roots of a tree if you can so that you can ground, so they can assist you in releasing what does not serve you. See, we try to carry everything by ourselves. We're always surrounded by all these electronics and shit. Mm-hmm. But we, just like Mother Earth, need balancing, and we balance with each other. Right? There's so much healing that can be found in nature. So go your ass outside, breathe some air, touch a tree, hug a tree, love a tree. They're so wise. When you're drinking water, give honor to the clean water that you have to drink.
Right.
There are places on the planet that don't have clean water. We losing clean water here in America at an alarming rate.
Oh, in the Mississippi Delta.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. So take a moment to give praise to the access to water that you have. Honor the transmutational energies of fire because it's lighting up our lives. Mm-hmm. It is spirit in action, and it is a force not to be fucked with.
Right.
And it allows for immense transformation to occur. Mm-hmm. And honor the wind of your voice because it allows what you have to say and what you desire to manifest to fly. And that's all I got.
No wonder you went to Kevin's thing. It's very like light beings-esque.
It's
very light beings-esque.
Look, you know what's crazy? He just walked up the chakras on you.
Yeah. I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I ain't either, but hey.
No, you did.
Yeah, he did. He went earth, water, fire.
The element for the root is earth.
Earth.
The element for your sacral chakra is water. The element for your solar plexus, I was about to say
it's fire.
Yeah, it's fire. And the element for your heart and lungs is air. He walked right up it.
We're gonna end it in a second. I told you, it always ends up being at 1:10, an hour 10. I don't know if you guys ever watched Avatar?
Yeah. Man, I didn't make it through the movie. I didn't
No.
No.
The TV show.
Yes.
Oh, the
The
TV
Last
show. Okay,
Airbender.
okay, I got
The
you.
Last Airbender.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah. Oh, boy, yeah.
Oh, my God. There's so much wisdom.
So good.
Unc is something else.
I think
boy.
it's season 2, episode 18, where he talks about the chakras, and it's the best I've heard the chakras explained. I made Jeremy watch it to understand the chakras, and like he got it. But like it's
He
so
did?
yeah, because they explain it kind of like using
you got to meet Jeremy.
yeah. He was the host on the first one you heard. Too, he's such a cool bro.
Yeah,
but like
I know, right?
bro is the best way to
Yeah,
explain.
bro. Yeah. Jeremy's a brother. Yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah.
Dude, he
would
would have been so funny, like sitting down. I can't even imagine what he'd be asking. Like, hey, brother,
I would love it. If Jeremy was sitting right here, this would be 2 hours. Because the first 30 minutes be all him.
Yeah, he's like a big Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
He would just say like inappropriate things unintentionally, and just be like, but like honestly, like curious, and like, hey, brother, fuck, shit, yeah. But that's it, guys. So again, we want to thank Business Radio X, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
His son Connor. Raheim. Thank you very much for coming.
Yes, sir.
I took a ton of
Yes,
notes.
sir.
I learned a bunch, and Rock as always. It's
Bruh,
another episode.
You know how we get down.
That's how we get our
That's
how
how
we
we
get
get down.
down.
Best one.
Another episode of Free Game, guys. We got a bunch coming up soon too. So hopefully you guys learned something. And again, I say it every time when
If
we
you
end.
didn't, you wouldn't watch it.
Free, unrestricted, and game, life, knowledge. So that's the concept.